Once again, we have our favorite YouTube content creator, Anna Bey, featuring a special guest. Alright, so boom, wagwan, bro. Welcome back to another installment of Edutainment, the place where you're laughing, being entertained, but most importantly, where you are learning something that you can apply to your own personal life and make it better. Obviously, I'm here to debunk some of the things Anna Bey says, see whether or not she is. See, the past two videos I've kind of like roasted her a little bit, but hopefully in this video she does say some truth, or she has some, substance. And I was about to react to this video, but then I saw another content creator that I'm subscribed to, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, make a video on her on this specific video. So I'm like, let me just see what he has to say, what she has to say, and then you'll hear what I have to say, because what I have to say is important, okay? No long talk.
Follower, you know where I stand with my feminism aspect, but if you are a newcomer, you have to understand one thing. I am a traditional feminism who believes that the man has a role and is not currently fulfilling his role in society. Instead, although I'm a big feminist and I support the feminist journey that has been going on, but I believe that feminism has started to take a direction that is no longer beneficial for the woman. It has been, and thank God for those times, but is going to an extreme now that is no longer beneficial for women.
Oh God, here we go. All right. All right, listen, I had to pause it right here. We currently live in a patriarchy, a society created for men by men.
I feel like we're turning into more of a matriarchy. Well, not matriarchy, but more of a feminist society, right? There are countless videos talking about how women aren't held accountable for their own mistakes or the things that they do in their own. They get more of a pass, right? I'm not sure the exact statistics, but if I pull it up, you'll see it right here. On average, a woman is going to get a lessened sentence compared to her male counterpart. And we already know how typically divorce court works when it comes to alimony, child support. Usually favors the woman.
Wool up, nigga. Wool up, wool up, wool up. Just wool up.
So in hindsight, I feel like things are more equal than she is. Based on the statement, we currently live in a patriarchy, a society created for men by men. In the last decade or so, I would have to disagree with it. It's more equal than we are making it seem. Cause like, think about it, bro. Just think about it. Just on a basic tip, most of the divorces are filed by women. I think it's 8 out of 10 or something like that. Why are 8 out of 10 women filing divorces? Is there enough? Is it all the man's fault? All the men are cheating? All the men are dogs? All the men aren't holding their part of the marriage? 8 out of 10. If it was 50-50 or maybe 60-40, maybe. But it's 8 out of 10 based on what I know. But if I find the actual statistic, I'll put it right here and you'll see it, and I'll be good to be contradicted. But I just know based on what I've heard, women are filing divorces more often than men. Why is that? And obviously they get more benefit out of the divorce than a man would. A man marries a woman, he's taking on more risk typically, because typically he's making more than her. And if it comes to time of child support or it comes to time of them splitting, usually the woman will ask for custody. If she's really bitter, she might ask for full custody, but still want the child support. I'm like, how does it make sense?
Broke, what do you mean? As the person don't have money?
Yeah.
Why will I waste time? If there's no money, there's no love. I can't waste my time.
If there's no money, there's no love. This was
Broke.
words from an Igbo woman. If there's no money, there's no love. Are
But,
you hearing me?
okay, am I eating
Are
love?
you hearing me?
Am I eating love? I have to tell him, either go and get a career, get a job, get something so that you can provide for your family.
First started to talk about how she believes in feminism and its traditional roles, but she's saying there's components of feminism that has gone too far. Me hearing that is, I'm interpreting that as there's components of feminism that have more evened out roles and opportunities. Women are less in the house and they're going to more in the workforce through efforts such as like affirmative action, have worked to even the playing fields to a degree, really benefits women in equaling out because they have been in more of a stay-at-home role versus in the workforce as a man. So what she's saying is that there has been benefits within that. But here's the thing, and when she says that, but it's been going too far, well, if you want equal this and equal that, then, oh, we're going out on a date? We're gonna split, we're gonna pay half because now you have all of the opportunities that I have had as a man. It seems like to me that, you know, you want the components of equality when it benefits you. But a component of my problem is the ideas that they push forward as to say, yes, we currently still live in a patriarchy and men are actively oppressing women, which is just not true. So when I see examples like this, like, you know, we are currently living in a patriarchy, oh, woe is me. As you guys already know on the channel, you know, I hate folks that dwell within victim mindset. And, you know, there's an argument at the beginning of a lot of these initiatives as to try to even out the balance in the playing field. But then you start to get bad actors or low integrity actors in any movement that will hang on to the fabric of arguments, even when the situations have been evened out and the playing fields have been leveled out and fixed in order to continue to benefit when really they're not in a system that is holding them down. You know, and even looking at this second line, a society created for men, by men, you know, I think that it doesn't do due diligence into why that has occurred. It's taken from the perspective of this is the way that it is. Men just powered us out of this position. So now, oh, woe is me, victim, da 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 da. But through evolution, through our biology, men have typically been the producers, working long hours, inventing, creating, innovating, politics. So they've been in the front lines and creating these rules. They've also been in the front lines of rolling back the rules as well. While women have taken different roles in society, and those roles have been more focused in reproduction and nurturing and staying at home and taking care of a house.
I will say one thing though, right? As a man, if you want the full cooperation from your woman, especially when it comes to like getting towards more of the husbandly role, or definitely boyfriend girlfriend type of role, it does behoove you, yes, big words, hopefully I'm using it correctly, it does behoove you to take on more of the financial responsibility. If it's just boyfriend girlfriend, you are usually the one paying, you're usually the one, you know, paying for the outing or whatever it is, if you can afford to. And obviously take it to some place you can actually afford to pay the full price for, or to pay in full. But if you are thinking about it long term, let's say you get to the point of like this girl being your wife, you don't want her to be working full time, worrying about work drama, taking care of the kids and doing her housely duties, and then having to service you in, you know, in the bedroom, right? It's like three separate things. But if you are able to handle most of the financial responsibilities, she does her thing here, right, with the kids and the house, then she has more time and definitely energy, right, to take care of you and get you satisfied as well. I'm just saying, long term, like when you get to that point, you want to be making as much money as you possibly can make so that your wife does not have to work as much or at all. Better yet, she works for you or under you in some capacity with your business. You're maybe a blue collar worker, but she's working in conjunction with your purpose, right? So her income is dependent on you. That's probably the ultimate way to essentially ensure that you get full cooperation for your woman, right? Essentially, and she's also helping you make more money. And however you can get your wife, your girlfriend to help you make more money is the optimal position. And that she can take care of your kids instead of having to have a babysitter or something, or at the very least work part-time and be able to do her homely duties and then take care of you as well.
It's just what our history has brought us to today. But to think that, you know, especially if she's in America, to think that we live in an oppressive state as if men are oppressing you, like we've created these laws to lock you down. I mean, I think the argument of that, while it appeals to a lot of people's feelings, doesn't really appeal to logic.
Listen, ladies, they are so spoiled by society. Society, and with society, I mean everybody, women, men, society is spoiling men. So what's happening now that instead of men offloading the shoulders of women, because don't forget, women, we carry a lot of hats, we have a lot of duties, much more duties than men have. So instead of men helping us to offload, women are now offloading men.
Oh, God.
I do agree with that. I do agree with that part, right? Because we are now equals, right? if she is bringing in similar income to you, right? But then you also expect her to take care of the kids and take care of the house. Like, what are you doing after work, right? That's why I say if you really want her to just focus on you and taking care of the kids and the house, then you want to be making as much money as possible so that she does not have to work as much or as hard to sustain the family. So I would say in a decent amount of cases, the woman is doing a lot more or a little bit more than the man, because she's working, right, full-time, let's say full-time, has to take care of the kids, has to cook, has to clean the house or whatever it is, but then also has to do you right in the bed. It's like a lot. So I can see it, I can see her point in that sense, but still in the context of marriage, women do have more benefits from marriage than men typically do have, especially if the man is not in the corporate world. Because we know in the corporate world, having a family unit usually elevates you in terms of like your status and your ability to move up in the workforce, especially at your company.
Men are spoiled by society. Women have more duties than men. Men have it easier. Here's the thing. I think both men and women have it easier in different aspects of their lives. It just depends what exactly you're talking about. Like in this dating game, I think men have it a lot easier because we control the relationships, we control when they start, and we do not have a finite time. The wall is not as hard for dudes as it is for women. But this idea that we just have it easy in general, the data actually doesn't show that at all. Because if men truly had it easier in the aspects of society that you claim, that
most men would not be homeless. Look at you, the average homeless person is homeless. I cannot just make an OnlyFans page and be making 10K or 1K per month. I don't have the supportive network that most women would have, given their circle and the ability to monetize. Any woman can always monetize something. They always have the option. Doesn't mean that they should or that they can do it, but they always have that option. A man is on his dolos. I remember, when I was trying to date, when I was 18, 19-ish years old, most girls aren't dating guys younger than them, right? So I'm literally limited to the girls around my age, right? 18 to 19. But the thing is, the girls around my age, not only can they date me, but they can also date the men that are older, 22, 23, 24, 25, right? So depending on what you're talking about or what you're referring to specifically, or which stage in life that the man or the woman counterpart is at, it can be easier or harder, right? If I'm 22, I can now date girls around my age, plus up to 19, 18, right? So it's like, plus you also have more money typically at the older you get as a man compared to 18, which usually makes you more attractive as well.
we created, then how do you explain the suicide rates? How do you explain the homelessness rates between men and women? How do you explain the incarceration rates? How do you explain the conviction rates? How do you explain the lack of custodial rights as is given to the mother generally? The man has to fight for rights for visitation, to view their offspring. How do you explain men dying on average 5 years earlier than women? And I'm bringing all this up to say, to highlight different components of when people say that this is just a patriarchy, and one at which that is aimed at oppressing women because men are superior. A lot of these arguments just fall short. If it's a patriarchy, then why are we creating structures where men are so disadvantaged in the very things that I just brought up?
What's happening in society is that women are offloading 50% of the financial load in the household, or in the relationship, or in general in society. Although women have much more expenses than men, much more responsibility than men, and many more hats to carry than men.
What? Just to conclude that you have more expenses because you choose to get the hair done once a week, to get your nails done every 2 weeks, to get all of the expenses in your makeup, all of the dresses, the clothes. And I'm just talking about all the things that might happen in a given month, but then, people who take it to the extremes to get the surgery.
I won't even count though, right? It is more expensive being a woman, typically. But you can always lower your expenses. You don't need the extra bag. How many bags do you need? how many shoes do you actually need? You know what I'm saying? Like, other than, you know, tampon or certain necessary things that the average woman needs, a lot of women's spending is usually on fun spending, or you could call it shopping addiction, right? Just cause money, just cause spending. And most of the marketing usually is geared towards women to make them spend more money. Women fuel the economy, if you didn't know. Women and simps. Women and simps fuel the economy. So I feel like if women spent more energy and money on their skincare, you know, talking to a dermatologist or something to that effect, they probably wouldn't spend as much money on having to have makeup to cover their flaws. Just a food for thought.
Is the nose done, the chin lifted, the liposuction, the implants, top and bottom. Listen, that's all things that you may go through because you choose to go through them. I think a lot of women end up following trends that are set by other women in order to keep a particular standard that is created and through the media that is pushed into their eyeballs. I mean, just is what it is. I would say all of those things, like, I could do without, and in fact, in the morning, I'd rather do without, so we can hurry up and get up out of here, okay?
Ladies, you know that we are responsible for many more things for biological reasons. Our brain is wired in a more complex way in terms of things that we intuitively think about. It has to do with children, with nurturing community and relationships and building relationships, forming relationships and so on. Men don't have the same capacity in terms of brain structure to think in those lines that women do. No matter how the society says that, yes, but actually men are now also helping women 50-50 with the children and with the relationships and with community building and household and so on. Well, we all know that is not true. We all know that even though a man is trying his hardest to pull in as much load as a woman does, he still can switch off his brain and not think about what's happening in the kitchen or with the kids or this and that. He still can just be very simple-minded and very kind of what's happening right here, right now. But a woman doesn't have that. She's built differently. And this is what's so unfair, that she has to carry so many different burdens, so many different hats. She has to have many roles now in society, at home, at work, in the relationships and so on, while the man is very comfortable. He's sorted. He is just doing one thing at a time.
But that's what you wanted. That's what, okay, now, okay. I understand components of what you're saying. I don't agree with you just saying that men are more simple and we don't have the, the complex minds to think about multiple things at once, but man has created everything from the time that you wake up in the morning to the time that you go to sleep. 99% of those things were created by man. So it's tough for me to understand what it is that you're saying. It sounds like a little bit of man bashing is going on here, while also trying to appeal to an audience to understand, woe is me, it's so complicated now, and now that we have to come out the household, and now we have to work, and then we gotta go back home and put on these nurturing hats. Oh gosh, it's so tough, it's so hard.
And if you are a woman that wants to have a more traditional role, it will require you to put in more work up front so you can get the man that can put you at home without having to work as much, or at least while you're pregnant, like the 10th month after you give birth, right? You don't have to go right up. You don't have to go right back to work. You have to be fit. You have to be working out, okay? You can be okay in the face, but the body has to be right. Just be fit. Just be fit. Be working out. Do look at intermittent fasting. Do your 4 or 5 workout sessions each week just to keep your body tight. And then the femininity, right? Being pleasant to be around, not being a nuisance or always talking back just to be spiteful or having like a bad attitude. And then just make a sandwich just cause it's a Tuesday, just cause it's a Wednesday or Thursday, right? You know, get like a slice of some apples, give it to him while he's working, or wash the dishes at his place without asking, whatever, just stuff like that. Things that show those wifely tendencies. And obviously, just because you do this, it does not necessarily mean that this specific guy will ultimately make you his girlfriend and wife. But you do these things to prove to the right guy that when he does come along, that this is the type of girl that you are. The quantity of men out there that make enough money to put you in a traditional role is smaller. So as a result, you have to put in more effort initially to get to the outcome that you want. You compare how many beautiful women there are out there in the world to how many people make 6 figures per year, it's a very small percentage, right? So again, be fit, be in shape, be working out, do your intermittent fasting, be nice to be around, be feminine, just, you know, be supportive. make food just cuz, right? Or make a sandwich just cuz, wash dishes just cuz. These types of traits and the willingness to do these things without a guaranteed outcome sets you apart than the average girl. And we know, just in general, if you think, oh, I'm doing all this investment, he may not do this. Men do this all the time. Men put in all this energy to try and get a girl on a date, take her out to a certain place, and then they may never see that girl again. So men are always investing and getting no ROI, or spending time trying to holler at girls who have boyfriends who don't text them back, whatever it is. Men are always putting in energy to try and get with a girl. Ask yourself, what energy are you putting in to get the husband that you want? Especially if you're a woman who doesn't want it to be 50-50 and are looking for something more traditional.
It's just, to me, it's just ridiculous how you're coming up to the conclusion that because of all of these things, men now have it easier due to the feminist movement, so I will not pay. It's ridiculous to me.
Most often though, ladies, okay, let's really be realistic here. Most of the times, men and women, they go 50-50, yet the woman is the one who is taking care of the kids, running the household, running the relationship, building the community with networking and socializing and friendships and society, whatever it is, obligations. And the man only has one role, and that is go to work. And then after work, he eats his food that his woman has cooked for him, or he goes and does his things that he's used to doing while the woman is doing everything that she's obliged to do. So for this reason, ladies, yes, the society is very unfair towards women. I do not call this fair feminism at all. That's why I'm a traditional feminist, because I know that back in the days, although there was a lot of things that were not in favor for women, but a lot of things were actually in favor for women. The fact that the man was the provider and the woman didn't have to stress whether she was forced to work or not.
I'm not liking her tone. It's a very condescending tone I'm picking up from her. Like, people pick and choose when they want equality. You want to be able to work, okay, go work. But then you expect a man to have the same nurturing or caring aspect for the kids as you do. Especially, you know, the early stages of the kids. I think about after the age of 7 or 8 or so, the kid needs the man. The kid needs the man more than the woman. Especially the boys, right? The boys need to be able to have a fatherly figure in the house. Not develop too many emotional, so to speak, tendencies. I'm gonna put it like this, right? As a man, you can go 50-50 with your girl at all times. But if you want the highest cooperation and the less stress on her so that she can please you, you don't want her paying all of the bills or paying all of the expenses in the house. You take care of the major things, mortgage, rent, whatever it is, but then she takes care of the food bill or something to that effect. And as a result, because she's not as stressed or has her energy drained at work, she can now take care of you in the bedroom more substantially, right? But expecting her to work, cook, clean, take care of the kids, whatever, and then also service you at her highest peak or potential is kind of unrealistic. So again, as a man, make as much money as possible. That is your prerogative. To not only be able to take care of your kids, not need your woman to work a full-time job. Rather, she has the option to work part-time. Obviously, do not bend over backwards just to make her happy. If you can't afford it, don't do it. If you can't afford to take her to some next place, don't do it. For me personally, as a first date or first couple of dates, I might pay for ice cream, pizza, slice for me, slice for you, $5 tops, right? Whatever it is, right? Take her to places that you can afford to take her to. If you want to pay full, pay in full. If you want to pay half, sure, pay half, whatever it is. But I'm still dumbfounded at the fact that she thinks men have it easier than women. Men do not have it easier than women. Essentially, women are born with value, and men have to attain value or attain assets in their life. A woman is born with everything she needs to attract a man. She's fit, she's feminine, she's nice to be around. She'll get a decent man that'll be able to marry her. As a man, you actually have to, do things to attract the type of woman you want. Learn, if it comes to dating, learn how to talk to women, build confidence, learn how to, flirt, stuff like that. If it comes to income, you actually need, there's no woman that's gonna take care of you that you can, not work as much. A man does not have the potential to have a woman make more money than him, right? But make him become a stay-at-home husband or stay-at-home dad. That's the likelihood of that happening is very slim compared to a woman potentially having a man make her a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home wife, whatever it is, right? Or a part-time wife or part-time, in the workforce. That likelihood is a higher chance, right? So that just that in itself puts into context the financial responsibilities and the dating potential, right? But yo, while you're here, watch my past video about Anna Bey from the School of Affluence, where she teaches you how to successfully attract rich and high value men, and where I debunk some major things that she missed out on. Watch that video right here, or watch my other video right here on how to lower your utility bills by upwards of 50%, water, electricity, heat, etc, etc. I got you covered. As always, if it doesn't feed you, don't water it, and too much of any good thing is good for nothing. How you lot doing today? Say it with me. I'm doing more, saying less, and keeping that same energy. No cap. Flip the script. I'm out. Deuces. Pow.
I know you stay looking at your life and you didn't think it'd end like this. I know you stay awake trying to make the mistakes that you may feel right. I know you